delicious.
What's up, guys?
It's like that.
Yeah, I would say welcome back to Arroz con Leche episode, whatever, but this is actually not an episode. This is just a little Arroz con Leche special, a little ACL TV time. So, you know, we got a little short week because we're actually headed to a bachelor party on Thursday, so we wanted to do a little quick something in between.
Who's getting married?
Married?
Yeah, who's getting married?
Craig.
Like that's like still? Craig and his celebrity fiance Dania Munoz. Yeah, so we're
Best guest on the show so far, by far.
Wow.
Drew's an alien.
High praise,
She's also here, so I have to say that. And live audience.
Yeah, so we're gonna just do a little. There was some good TV this week, guys. This
TV.
weekend, I guess. This weekend involved Tiger won the Masters.
Eldrick. He's back.
Is he back though? Does he have a? Is he gonna go after Jack Nicklaus?
I don't even
Wow,
know. But
it doesn't matter.
But he's back.
It's huge win.
He won a major, so that's cool.
We're also going to talk about NBA playoffs. There were some, with LeBron not in the East, there were some upsets, and really it could go any way over there, which is something interesting for once in our, 8 years?
Only in the East.
In 8 years? 8 years?
Who cares?
Eight straight finals.
Yeah, 8 straight finals. So,
Yeah,
we'll finally get something new.
No one's got a shot. It's the Warriors. Who cares?
Yeah.
I hope you're wrong.
Yeah,
Me too, but I'm not gonna be.
Probably not.
Yeah, and then we're going to round it out with a little bit of the most important thing that was on this weekend.
That was a good one, dude.
Game of Thrones, baby. We got a lot to talk about with that. So without further ado, we're going to start with something simple, and that's just everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone, if I'm not mistaken, is pretty damn overjoyed that Tiger Woods got another green jacket.
You see my green on right now. It's the only green I had, so I wore it for Tiger.
Is that really why? Tiger's like more of a red guy. Like our set goes with Tiger
but
more.
he put on the green jacket today, so I put on the green sweater. Don't mind the Jets logo. It's outdated now, actually, but this is my green jacket.
Yeah, so obviously we all grew up with Tiger winning everything. It still kills me that, like, back in the day, it was really like, in a betting world, it was like, hey, you want Tiger or do you want everyone else?
Tiger versus the field.
That really was
Like
a regular thing.
a lot of
insane.
times it was.
Yep.
Like,
Crazy.
how crazy is that, though? How good are you at something?
And golf, because like golf is so hard to win that many times.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
insane. But when you think about it, he's only won. I mean, not only, but he's won 15 majors,
15. Yep.
and he's been around for what, 20, 25 years.
Well, now, yeah. I mean, he had 11 years in between his last one, so it
Which is
feels
crazy.
longer. But really, if you think about it, it was 97 he won his first Masters. And between 97 and 08, he had 15 majors. There's only 4 a year.
That's insane.
What
though.
year-
Right, though? That's 22 years later, though.
Yeah.
Since his first.
Yeah.
What year did the wife incident happen?
Oof.
That was what? Let's see.
All downhill
He won
from there.
the U.S. Open in what? 08, right? That's
If it
when
was
he
the US
won
Open,
it
so
on
this
the
happened in-
torn ACL. So it was just before. It was prior to that.
It was
right?
after that.
No, I'm saying the U.S. Open was after that. I think.
I was going to say, I thought it was before that.
I don't recall 100%. I feel like it might have been.
Like, it might have been the year after that. Like, it happened quick.
Yeah.
But, so basically for 10 years, though, almost, that he was, like, not Tiger, right? He stopped getting laid. And trust me, if any guy could tell you, you stop getting laid, your whole life is a little messed up. Well, maybe more for me than these
Nympho
guys.
Nick again.
But Drew,
Back again.
you know, anytime he can say it, he says it. Hey, you know, but you know, it messes my mental up. You know, can't think straight sometimes. You know, so Tiger, imagine all that focus that goes into golf, and he was smashing that porn star and this model and maybe his wife. Don't know, possibly his wife as well.
we hope.
We hope he was smashing his wife.
Well,
as
for
well.
her sake,
But-
I would hope not. No.
Well, yeah, maybe she might have caught something.
You think he ever did something with her in bed, and then she was like,
Where'd you learn that?
where'd you learn that? It's like, you didn't have that trick before. He said, whose finger was that? No, but
Don't
like,
laugh at him, Dana.
I'm just glad that he's back, man. I love.
back.
I mean, when Tiger's doing great, it's great. Like, they need
Well,
to bring
golf is
back
better when he's
Tiger
doing
Woods,
good.
like
Yeah.
NCAA.
Golf is better when he's doing good. What? I thought they still had that. The Tiger Woods game. Didn't
Nah.
you just got it the other year? I thought.
No,
They
like
took him off of it.
I got it like the year before our beach house. So
Really?
it was Rory McIlroy PGA Tour.
Okay, so they switched his name like
And-
that.
And that was 1 year, and they haven't done one since.
That's 'cause
So
you
they
can't-
haven't done a golf game
No.
since.
Oh,
EA
they did.
Sports.
They
EA
did. They
Sports
did.
has
Okay, EA Sports has
Yeah,
it.
they did the golf tour. I think
Something
it's
like
called.
that.
and it's just nowhere near as good.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, that game needed to be Tiger Woods' game, or else it just never was the same.
I can't believe they never got a college basketball game again. I mean,
Well,
how
they don't
dope
have
was
the
it
rights.
when you were in the tournament?
Yeah,
It was
they,
awesome.
They
Oh,
lost the
for
rights.
sure.
They blew that.
But like, yeah, I mean, college football too, man. College football.
But you
was
know what?
awesome.
With this new idea that they may start paying these kids,
They
that's when
should.
the video games will come
Good.
back.
who
They should
said they
pay
were
him.
going to pay him?
Well, there's talks.
Did Everett say it?
Did who?
That's the guy's name, right? The
I don't
president of the NCAA, Everett.
I don't know, but I think
I don't know.
I think
That's a good
eventually
question.
it's kind of seems like that's what it's leading to. There's no way around it.
I would
Eventually you're gonna
do-
have to pay these kids. I mean, a kid like Zion, the amount of money he brought to Duke is
It's ridiculous.
and Nike is
It's ridiculous.
ridiculous.
I would do anything for those college games again.
Oh, absolutely. NC football was
Dynasty mode.
way
man.
better than Madden.
Did you see that person?
I like the basketball one better though.
Really?
Yeah, than the football one,
I
because the
love
football one
Dynasty.
was too easy. It was so easy. You were playing against some bad teams.
Well, that's why you got to. But you
gotta
make
take-
your
you
own
got-
schedule.
Yeah, but
and you got to
still.
take a bad team
Nah,
and make them
right.
good.
There was something so
I
cool
used
about
to
being
turn
in the
Rutgers
tournament.
into the
Oh, yeah.
University of college football.
You know who I like moving around? Now this was before they were good, so it made sense. But TCU, I would always grab TCU because they were terrible, but they had the dopest unis. They had the purple unis and stuff like that, and I make
Yeah.
them a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Or Notre Dame. That was my squad back in the day. but,
Yeah. Well, they were easy to recruit to already.
Oh,
They were
so easy.
5-star.
so easy.
Yeah. All right. So back to the.
Yeah, back to and I guess you guys got anything more you want to say about Tiger?
Congrats, man.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
think it's
man.
awesome to see him back on top. Hopefully, he can consistently play good golf until he, I guess, decides to hang him up.
I would love to see him do everything. If he somehow could fucking beat Jack Nicklaus, that would be ridiculous. That would be awesome. Yeah. Like, imagine that this is just the beginning of a whole new Tiger prime run.
Well, how old is he now? 43?
Oh, I have no idea.
43.
43, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder when Jack Nicklaus won his
46.
last major. At 46?
46.
Yeah,
Okay,
but he was
good
probably,
answer.
he
I
was
heard
probably
that today on the
already-
radio.
He was probably already in Jack Nicklaus shape.
Yeah, I mean,
like Tiger points or does this, and there's like 6 triceps on his arm. Like, it's crazy.
nah, he's in good shape, but like as you can see, the good shape doesn't always hold up.
I mean,
Sometimes your body just
he's one
diminishes
wrong
quicker.
move from that
Well, he's an
back going
injured
again.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
and-
Well, if all things equal, if he's healthy, I mean, then who knows? He's not the
If
Tiger
he's
he used to
healthy,
be.
I don't count him out. I don't count him out of winning 3 more majors. But it's tough. Like I said,
That's
there's
still
only 4
tough,
a year,
right.
and you're 43 years old. You only get 4 shots a year at it,
Yeah.
and up until this year, he was missing majors because he was hurt. So like,
Right.
if he misses one, there's 25% of his shot at a year getting one. I mean, I think he could absolutely win another. I mean, he's comfortable at those majors. He's just gotta, I don't know,
He could.
stay healthy.
Yeah, I
Really.
mean, it's all about health with him.
Mental health and physical
But
health.
age catches up, too.
Seems like he's finally mentally healthy, which is another big
Yeah.
thing in golf. We all know. You get in your head once and you're done. Your round's finished.
There's nothing. I mean, mental is so important for many sports, but I feel like golf and baseball are like the two where it's so in your head or you're not.
Yeah, I mean, and all eyes are on
Definitely.
you. Like,
Right.
you
And
strike
you're all
out
by
in
yourself
baseball,
up there,
everyone
right.
sees it.
Right.
You know,
I
there's
mean,
no one
right.
to pick you up in golf, though. In baseball, at least you got a guy behind you who
Right.
might pick you up if you screw up. In golf, you shanked a shot,
Yeah.
Pick yourself up.
If Tiger doesn't win, man, I mean, that could financially really set him back.
I don't even want to hear about that.
Tiger-
Dude lost
Tiger-
half his fortune and he's still a billionaire, probably.
Yeah.
Tell that to Jeff Bezos.
Never lost
Yeah,
his
fuck
Nike
Bezos
sponsorship.
Bezos gave half his money up. He's still the richest man in the world, and his wife is now the 3rd richest woman in the world.
Yep.
His ex-wife, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So, like, that's the kind of power I want in life, you know?
Yeah.
I want to be able to leave a girl with something like that.
Yeah.
But, shout out to Tiger Woods. Obviously, I don't know whose favorite player he's not. Is he not anyone's favorite player?
I'm a Phil Mickelson fan, man.
You're lying.
The lefty.
You're such a
lefty.
liar. Like, everyone respects
Dana is a newly found Brooks Koepka.
Oh, yeah. I heard
why?
you changed your hall pass?
Yeah.
To
That's her new
Brooks
hall pass,
Koepka, he's
apparently.
so boring.
Yo, he
She-
looks
she
like
liked
he looks like
Koepka.
Blake Bortles and Mike Trout had a kid.
Oh,
Does.
he's so
Really
boring.
does.
Dana, you're better than that. The Mac Miller was a better one than him.
She liked Koepka.
Brooks
Yeah, but
Koepka
you know-
is dull.
At least
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
But
even
hey.
get into it too much. I was gonna say some bad things. So,
All right, so
as to not say bad things, we're gonna just move on to our next subject here, which is what else was on TV this weekend was
The NBA playoffs.
the NBA playoffs. So I don't know who got I know a lot of people didn't get to watch games. Honestly, there was some games going on during the Tiger
Yeah, a lot of day games.
tournament.
Yeah,
Lot
but
of day games
the
in
first
early
round of
rounds.
the NBA playoffs usually is whatever.
It
You
is
usually know
usually
who wins.
that.
but
Usually, although there were a few game
what
one
was it?
upsets.
2 or 3 underdogs won.
Yeah, so the Bronless East had 2 upsets.
Right.
The Brooklyn Nets
The Brooklyn
went
Nets.
went to Philadelphia.
But
and
is
beat the
that
Sixers.
even that crazy of an upset? Like it's only one game.
Name 3.
And-
oh yeah, absolutely. Name 3 Nets.
Name 3 Nets.
Yeah, that compared to anyone on the other
Well,
than
yeah,
D'Angelo
no one compares, but still, they're still an NBA team. Like they're coached well. They won over 40 games. They were over 500. Like it's only one game.
Yeah.
I'd be if they won the series, I'd be surprised. But for them to pull out one game, I'm not surprised by it.
I
But
think
yeah,
it was
it's
just the
it's
fact
still
that
an
it was
upset.
on the road. Philly's got all these,
Philly fans.
expectations of this being the the process is finally complete. They have this team built, and then they go and drop game 1 in that fashion. I think it was just like it was a big
I was
deal for
more
the city of Philadelphia and for the city of Brooklyn, I guess. Even though they're still in my eyes
Who
the New
cares?
Jersey Nets,
Yeah.
but they're not.
I thought the
I think it was
Raptors
big for those
upset was
players, though.
bigger.
It also wasn't that
Well,
close.
yeah,
though.
Raptors are what, the 2 seed, right?
Right,
So-
and they're a good team. Like
Are they a 2 seed or a
they
3
have a
seed?
shot.
2.
2 seed.
I don't see the Sixers coming out of the East. I think it's only between the Raptors and the
Well, I
Bucks.
think after the way the Bucks played, they're proving that their
Well,
number 1 seed might
yeah.
not have been a joke. Because I always,
they won 60 games. You can't be a joke when you win. 60
I know you don't. We shout out Ryan the troll every once in a while, but Ryan is a Bucks fan. He's been a
Yeah.
Bucks fan for,
Ryan
for
is
a long time
Ryan's
now.
a Jason Kidd fan.
And
It moved
well,
him to the
but you know what?
Bucks.
He was a Bucks fan.
Right, he's like TJ.
He's been a Bucks fan on the ground level, though. I'll give him that. Like they were trash when he started liking them.
But how serious was he?
Not like all the Knicks fans.
Serious enough that he bought NBA TV and watched every game.
Really?
Yeah. Until like recently, he didn't have NBA TV this year. Like I'll give it to him. Ryan's a Bucks fan. Ryan bought the jerseys. He's got the hats. He's a Bucks fan. So he's finally got something to
I
cheer
won't
for.
fully
I'm not gonna
believe
give it
that.
to
But he doesn't
Yeah.
even fully believe the Bucks right now. He says that if they play and beat Boston in the second round, which I think is who they would have to play if Boston wins and they win.
Yep.
Yep.
If they beat Boston, he says then he's a believer. Until
mean,
then,
yeah,
he's
of
not a
course.
believer.
If he takes out the other
Right.
best team,
If
Well, they're not
of
though.
course.
The,
If you're
the
pretty
Raptors
much
are
Yeah, but I'm
technically
just
the
saying,
other best
really,
team. But yeah,
But I think
until
the Celtics
because what have they proven yet? Other than they won 60 games. I mean that's awesome. And
Bucks?
Giannis is clearly a superstar.
I think if the Bucks play the Celtics, it's going to be a whole different world because Brad Stevens is going to
he's-
set a strategy
Yeah,
for
to
for
stop
sure.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But does any of it matter because the Warriors are just going to win anyway?
Well, we'll see.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think the Warriors winning is the best case scenario for us.
Why? Because then KD leaves.
Then KD is good.
Yeah, I first of all, I know
Is
there's a
he
lot
good
of
though
hate.
after 3, or is he like, damn, we got to go for 4? Like,
Well,
that could be-
he's already like kind of like
I don't
they're
think
not
he-
loving me like they
Yeah.
love Steph Curry, like they love these guys.
They never will.
No, exactly. But then he's
With- and
realizing
he knows that.
He's
Yeah.
realizing that now. And he's
How-
like, you know
how
what?
are you just realizing that now though? You should have known from the get.
Well, because when he
should've
came
known.
there, he
He's
was
KD.
He was,
But he was never like
partly-
LeBron. Like from the moment he even came, it was like, why would he go to Steph's team? You know? And like,
I don't think so.
I
think,
always thought that way.
I don't. I mean, he's a top 3 player in the world,
Yeah.
right? And he's been that for
5 years, maybe
5 years.
Oh,
5 years.
wow.
at least, probably.
5 years, let's say. And when he goes somewhere, it's like when he goes somewhere, he's the best player on the team. It's.
Well, he's only been 2
I'd love him
places,
to be
and,
the
I,
best-
and
Yeah, I mean-
you could debate them both.
I'd
Russell
love him to
Westbrook
be-
and
What, you think Russell Westbrook better than KD? You're bugging.
no,
You're
he's
bugging.
not better than KD.
But I'll take KD on the Knicks all day.
yeah, for sure. But like, imagine he's the guy who like wins a championship for us. Like,
Are you mad about that?
I wouldn't be. I can't be mad. But like, KD is not my guy. Like,
KD will.
I've
be your
never
guy.
been a huge.
I bet you if KD brought us to the playoffs and we were winning, like he's going off, me and you'd be right next to each other, screaming our heads
Oh, for
off.
sure. Just because he's a Knick, but like, he's not. Like, Melo was my guy. You know, like I fucked with Melo. Like, I
think-
love Melo.
I think KD. Well, I mean,
Melo?
I can't say it, but I think KD
dude.
would be the guy if he came. Because we love.
See,
we
like
love
I
some
could see
hope.
Kyrie Irving being like the guy. Like
I'll
he's
take
from
both
this
of them.
area. Like he's dope. He's
He's from Australia.
Yeah, but he's not. He's got like the New York swagger kind of. Like KD just kind of reminds me of someone like very nonchalant. Like he's dope. He's unbelievable, but
He's a silent
he's
assassin.
he's not my guy. Like I love the guys like Russ, like those guys that are going out there.
Yeah, but you're looking for an attitude.
I know, but
This is
that's
like
why.
a
That's
Jordan
That's
LeBron
all I'm
thing.
talking about is
Yeah,
attitude.
right.
I'm not talking about skills. He's by far the top 3 player in the league. Like, of course, I want him on my team.
But like
if he was gonna be the leader who does it, it's like, damn.
you're devaluing him because of his personality, though.
No, I'm just voicing my opinion on if
Yeah.
I'd rather have him or someone with like a
Correct.
So, like,
90s Knicks attitude.
You're saying it's not good enough.
No, not at all.
You
I'm
said
just
you
saying
wouldn't- it wouldn't feel right,
It's
you're
it's the same way as I'd rather have someone like a Baker Mayfield winning all my Super Bowls than Eli Manning. I just don't like his swagger, his.
But you'll take 2 from an
But
Eli
of course,
Manning any day
of
the week.
course, of
Yes,
course, I'm not going to
absolutely.
complain about
You
it.
take
but,
2 in 10. How long has he been there? 13, 14?
15 years.
Yeah, you'll take 2 in 15 years any day of the
Did he
week.
get his first start the first year?
Did he? He
Halfway-
started
halfway
halfway
through.
Halfway through. Is that what it was?
We kicked out Kurt Warner when we
Yeah,
were
when
like
you were-
4-3.
No, I thought you were
Not
even
4-1.
better.
No, we weren't 4-1. People try to say that.
Kurt Warner was.
We might have
good.
been 3-1.
Kurt
Yeah,
Warner
you
was
were
way better than Kerry Collins.
It was.
We didn't
it
kick
was
him out that
after
early,
your
though.
bye week. You had a bye week, and they started Eli coming out of the bye. Whatever your record was, it
I
was
thought we
after
were
the bye.
4-1 with Kurt Warner, and then we lost a few games. So then it was like, all right, throw him in
Possible.
there.
I mean, I'm not a Giants fan.
I
so
could be
don't
wrong,
really
though.
remember.
See, but I'll take those guys every day. It's like a Saquon. Like, would you rather have a Saquon or
But Saquon's different.
Why
Saquon's
is
the guy
Saquon
you
different?
want. He's dope.
Saquon is a running back version of KD as a small forward. He's ridiculously talented, dominant, and he wins at all
I
facets
think
of the game.
Saquon comes
Saquon's
off as a more
different.
likable person.
Way
though.
more.
But like
Way more.
What's like? So this is a preference thing.
Saquon would never say
What?
what KD said this weekend, talking about how when I came here, I knew everyone was gonna hate me, but I don't care. Fuck that. Blah blah blah. Saquon's like
Saquon does
good.
it.
He's a
right.
good guy. He's gonna say the right thing, whether it's what he's really thinking. He's gonna say the right thing. KD has gotten to this point now where he's like accepted being the villain. And I think that he's just more of a like, I don't give a shit what the fuck you think. Whereas Saquon's like, oh, well, that's a good point, but here's why I'm
Better.
going to
But
counteract
But
that.
you said
Right.
you said it perfectly though. You said I think KD's at a point. KD was that guy for years. Quiet. I don't say much. I don't say much.
Right.
Now,
and then he left his
now
team
he's
in the
that guy.
dust and went to the fucking
But
Warriors.
he just always
Hey,
felt
man.
like a beta male to me. Like he's not.
Yeah, but why can't
The guy.
what's a bit like a motherfucker with a type B personality can't be the guy? I can't be your guy. I can't be. I'm not
That's
good enough
different.
for you
No,
because you need a
that's-
type A.
That's not what I'm saying at all, though.
But that's what you're saying. You say
At all.
like that's like if I were to do I don't know any type A people right off the top of my head honestly. Like I was trying to name someone we know who's the type A that we know.
I don't know.
what, like a born leader, you mean? Like
Not even just
No,
someone that's
type
like
A's-
kind of like just boisterous.
Yeah, type B is
You know,
very
someone
reserved.
that's just very out.
But see, I would consider
I don't
Saquon.
know.
I would
Like,
consider Saquon like a type B. He's reserved. He's not out there looking for attention. Odell was type A,
Oh, he's absolutely
and I
type
don't
A.
fuck with type A.
100%.
But you do
With
fuck
that,
with type
with
A.
that type of type A.
You like
No.
pick and choose out of nothing. Michael Jordan, type A.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I take a type A on my team
I want to
any day of the week.
see. But do you see the difference though? Because it's not type A, type B. Because I like Jordan. I don't like Odell's attitude. The differences, and they're both type A's.
See,
100%.
But the thing is, I think a lot of that has to do with just how they're portrayed.
Yeah, well, that could be it.
Like I think Jordan
But
in this era is a villain for everybody. Like they're like this guy doesn't give a fuck. He went. I mean, he's killing it.
They
but
would
like,
do like what they do with LeBron though. Like, oh, he's not a good teammate. Like you see him sitting on the end of the
But-
bench, like
but
he's
not-
yelling at someone. He's doing this.
But Jordan was out here like just gambling, drinking, smoking cigars. Like LeBron's out here like starting charities and public schools, and you know Jordan's out here like fuck these kids, man. Buy these shoes.
Yeah, I mean Jordan had a chip on his shoulder bigger than anyone else, but that's also what made him great.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a dick.
Probably is, honestly. I'm not saying I'd be friends with him, but like, do I want him leading my team? Yeah.
I mean, no,
Hell
you wouldn't be friends with him. He's
Hell
no
yeah.
he's no Cardi B.
Well,
So
then maybe
other
I'd be
than-
friends with him.
Other than what, the Magic and the
Yeah, so
and
they
the Nets, it wasn't really
The
anything
Pistons
too
Nah, they're
blown out of the
shocking, right?
water.
Golden State blew him out. They also I didn't realize KD got ejected during that game.
Yes,
him and
he
Pat
did.
Beverly
Him
real
and Pat,
quick. That
yeah.
happened so fast.
Well, Pat Beverly is known to
We know
get
Pat.
under the
Oh,
skin
yeah.
of any player.
Well, he did
So
his job.
He picked out KD and he got
Did
under
his
his
job.
skin and got him
Pat
ejected.
did his job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pat's a pure
I
pure
mean,
type
unfortunately,
of player.
it didn't translate to a win, but
No, but
he
tell
did-
me every game you wouldn't be like, yo, Pat, go get their best player. make sure he gets ejected, and you did your job. Like,
well, no,
that's a win.
But you don't want to lose Pat Beverly.
But if they're losing, it's like trading like in chess, where if you have a shot at getting their queen
with your fucking pawn,
right, you're gonna give up a
Not
rook.
that
I would
Pat's a
say
pawn.
a rook.
Yeah, Pat, that's the thing.
Pat's
maybe
like
a rook,
but
maybe a
bishop.
rook. But I'm
you know.
easily taking that if they lose their best
the,
player.
the issue is that when you take that queen, they got 2 other queens.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's
they're
why they're
different.
so good.
So that
exactly
why they're
strategy,
so dope.
that's what I'm saying. That strategy isn't great. Like,
Right.
I'd rather have Pat, the on-ball defender, on Steph Curry all game. But I love Pat for getting like he's the kind of player when he's on your squad, you're like, this guy is amazing.
Yeah.
When he's not on your squad, you're like,
you fucking hate him.
He's a piece
He's
of
like
shit,
Matt
right?
Barnes. So
Yeah,
the same way.
Matt
He was just
Barnes
a
is
guy who would
definitely-
just get under the player's skin. But if you were on
Probably
his team,
Enes Cantor too.
Enes Kanter was
Yeah.
one.
Enes-
Anderson.
Speaking of
Varejao.
Enes Kanter,
Anderson Varejao.
he
Anderson
went
Varejao.
off
Yeah.
No.
in their game.
The Knicks players, when they go from a team,
Oh, they're good.
from our team to another team and go in the playoffs, they're.
I mean, you knew Enes Kanter was a good
No, he's
player.
amazing.
You just,
I love
it
him.
was salary cap relief. You were
me and
just
Drew,
trying to
me
get
and Drew
his
talk
money
about
off.
it.
the
We
It
books.
was.
love
I've
Enes
always
Kanter,
been-
the Knicks.
Oh,
Always
yeah.
been an Enes Kanter
Absolutely.
fan. He's got that '90s New York
He
attitude.
wanted to
but-
play there too.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
he's also like, I think he's getting close to 30. And for our team,
Is he?
we're not gonna win anything anytime
Nah.
soon. You know?
Well, if you bring in KD and Kyrie Irving, then you're a contender.
yeah, but
Honestly, you don't even need both of them.
Cantor to me is like a really, really, really good backup center. Like he's very one dimensional. Like you bring him off as like your 6th man, 7th man or something. Like he's huge. He'll get you buckets. But
he's also
damn,
the
he
perfect
can't
center
shoot.
to
He's
have
what,
if you have a
29?
Kyrie
Only
Irving and a
26.
Kevin Durant.
He's only
Yeah,
26.
Only
he's young.
26.
Yeah, but
If you have a
basketball you're done by
KD
like 30.
If you have a
He's-
KD
but not-
and
he's good.
a Kyrie and a KD on your squad, he's the perfect center.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
for
he
sure.
does is bullies people, pulls down
But let's
boards.
be
and-
real.
Nah,
and
you know who the
putbacks.
perfect
Let's be
center
real.
is for that team? Steven Adams.
Enes Kanter's like a poor
Very
man
similar.
Steven Adams.
Yeah.
almost.
I think
He's a small,
Enes
like
Kanter's a better scorer. Adams is
Yeah.
a better defender.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
Adams is he's a bully. That's
Now,
what they do.
We don't really need both of those guys though, because if
Nah, but
we
you're gonna
get
go
the
for 'em.
first pick, if we and they're
That-
setting it up like that.
When is the lotto?
Is it
coming
next
up.
month?
Please, just one time
next
let the
month?
Knicks
Should be
win
soon.
something.
Or it's in the
Please.
20. It's April 20 something or something.
Yeah, something like
All
that.
I know is they got Pat doing it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that could be a scam.
Oh, it is. I mean,
I hope it's a scam for us.
We'll see.
I'll take it. I'll
Me
take
too.
Zion. Give me Zion, KD.
All I want is a top 2.
and someone else.
Give me.
I'm gonna be the
Yeah.
first
Zion
to
or
say it
Ja.
right now. I don't even want Zion.
See,
I don't want him.
Don't let TJ hear you.
See that's funny you're saying that because to be dead on, I love Zion, but I don't
Dog, he's a 6'8",
love
6'9".
Zion. He's not even that
kid
tall.
who-
He's 6'6".
He can't shoot.
Can't
Yeah,
shoot.
don't get me wrong. He's incredibly athletic. He's going to put butts in the seats, which is what the Knicks need. But
No,
at
we
the
don't.
same,
No,
they
we
don't
don't.
even really. They sell out the Garden even with a fucking 12-win team. They'll still sell out the
So
Garden.
who is your guy? Is
But-
your guy Ja? Like I like Morant, dude. I
I'm
fucking
a Ja
love Ja.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm a
See,
Ja fan.
I-
I'm definitely. I'm even a
RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett fan.
Yeah, I don't need him.
because he's a stretch. He fits the bill of today's NBA.
He's Canadian. We got enough Canadians doing good things here.
Honestly, Canadians are
They're
killing
over.
it in America.
They're taking
Yeah.
over.
They're killing it in
Yeah.
America.
But yeah, I don't see Zion as a player that you can build around. I see Zion as a player that if you have a squad that's missing like one piece, maybe Zion's your piece.
well,
You
this is what I'm saying though. Because
and the Knicks, it could be. It
What's
could
I'm
be
saying?
right for the Knicks.
If
But
you-
for me, I'm a Bulls fan. If you guys don't know, I don't want Zion Williamson on the Bulls. I just don't.
Well, I think Zion would be like you said, you can't build around him, but best case scenario, I could see Zion being like a Karl Malone, like can do like a little bit, but he's shorter.
he's also only 18.
Well, that's
He
the
could
craziest
grow
part.
more, which
That's
is
the
crazy.
craziest
Yeah, if he gets taller and
Well, if he's 6'10",
he needs to
that's
learn how to fucking
scary.
shoot.
He's sick. Oh,
6'6".
he becomes 6.
Yeah,
He
if
needs
he's
a damn
6'10",
jump
that's
shot.
scary.
But
if he can get just a mid-range jumper, not even just a three-pointer, a consistent mid-range jumper, then forget it. Because if he can beat you off the dribble or pull up from
Well, do-
mid-range,
Well, then
But
do you
I-
think he's
I'm
a lot
pitch
like a Blake Griffin almost? Like is that kind of his upside?
fair, but
I
he's
guess.
smaller than Blake Griffin, like height.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
He can't be-
if
you're
you're
not
telling
gonna
me
put
he
him
can't
on a
even
center.
be, if you're telling me he can't even be as good as Blake Griffin, you can't really build around a Blake Griffin.
what about this? What
Right.
about the Knicks get Zion in the draft? They get KD
Well, that's a whole new story.
and they get them all together. What?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so they get Zion, they get KD together with Kyrie. So Zion isn't that main piece. You know who I think Zion could be a perfect substitute for?
Who?
A Dennis Rodman type. He's
Yeah, I
super
mean,
athletic.
yeah.
He'll get mad
Right.
boards. He's a bigger
That's what I'm
body than
saying.
anyone else.
Great piece
Just
for
go
a
and get-
championship team.
Dennis
but maybe
Rodman
not
wasn't that big.
Not a centerpiece.
No, Dennis Rodman
was
wasn't
just
that big.
strong
He was
as hell.
6'7", but
He'd jump out the gym.
He could jump out the
Zion
gym,
can
and
do.
he didn't
Yeah.
he didn't waste any energy on offense. Like Zion's out there on offense too.
But if we have KD and Kyrie, he doesn't need to do that much.
Right.
He's an alley-oop guy.
Yep.
I'll take that all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still love Ja. Like Ja could be like our Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely be that. My only worry with the way we're set up is that we've done something. I don't know what the hell we did, but now we have like 80 guards on our team.
Yeah, but like, are any of them it? Like, I like Dennis Smith, but he didn't prove anything to me this year to know he's it. Like, especially if we got Zion, like we already had that excitement factor in the Garden. We don't. That's not really necessary.
But that's
And
not
that's what-
between those two.
But
though.
that's kind of what Dennis Smith is.
Oh, Dennis Smith. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, if you give me Ja, we're getting Dennis Smith, and you're getting someone who can shoot, who can do a little more.
Honestly, I think Ja's best. I don't even
Pass.
really. That's what I care about
Like,
with
he's
Ja. Ja's ball,
unbelievable.
his court vision is LeBron-esque. Like he sees it all.
It's
Right,
crazy
but he
when you
can
see
score when you
players
need him
like
to.
that and wonder how he got missed.
It's crazy.
Well, he
coming out of high
didn't.
school.
They said that what he did is he got offers. His parents told him, "Don't go where you want to go." They said, "Go where they want you."
Yeah, that's. A
And
good
he said
point.
Murray State gave him so much love that he was like, "I gotta go here."
But
Because he was on the
I still
AAU
don't
team
think.
with Zion.
I still don't think he was even a top 20.
Well, that's probably because he was on the AAU team with Zion. Everybody
So
was
he got
looking at
overlooked.
Zion.
Right. Everyone's like,
Well, a lot of times that happens, man. Like basketball, there's only one ball,
Yeah.
so it's hard to be the guy.
It's not like other sports that have multiple balls.
Well,
I just fuck around.
fortunately, in other sports, you have your own opportunity
No.
to shine, like a baseball, where you're at bat as you.
Oh, no, baseball is always
it's-
in a spotlight.
Well,
No
baseball.
matter what's happening, it's just you.
Baseball is a completely individual game unless you're talking about pitcher to catcher or an infield play.
Yeah.
Like besides that, I mean, everything you do is on an individual. Like
Absolutely.
even as a pitcher, that's you individually by yourself versus this hitter.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's wild.
Every professional sports are a lot of fucking pressure.
Right, but I'd say baseball is maybe not that, but like a lot of other sports is just based off like impulse, you know? Like you're just, all right, football, catch this ball, run. You know, like basketball, whatever happens off the rebound, see where you're going to end up on the court, pass here, dunk here, do this. Baseball is just kind of, this is your only opportunity to affect the game.
right.
In a way.
I know what you mean.
What are you?
Do
try-
You
are
never
what I'm
know
trying
what's
to say?
coming.
But are you trying to say
either.
it's more?
Well,
stressful,
everything is
or-
almost reset. So like every at bat, it's almost like starting the game over. Like this is your chance at impacting the game. Basketball, it's just it's nonstop.
Yeah, I mean that which
I'm
which
explaining
makes-
this very terrible, but
Well, I'm just trying to figure out
Do you
which.
know what I'm saying?
Are you trying to say that there's more stress involved with baseball? Is that what you're saying?
Not
I
that
think-
there's more stress. It's just
You're more
there's
an
way
island?
more thinking.
Poor
There's way more
performance
thinking.
also
See, I don't
in other sports.
I wouldn't say there's more than other sports.
Well, you don't
but your
think in
poor
basketball.
performance in other sports can be hidden a little more. In
Right.
baseball, if you go 0 for 4 with 4 Ks, everyone knows it.
Right.
Well, it depends though, because if you're football, if you're the quarterback, everyone sees you.
No,
fuck up.
well, quarterback in
But that's
football,
it.
I
It's
still
only
think is
quarterback.
probably the toughest, most pressure, maybe in all sports.
the amount
quarterback
of
an
the amount of
NFL
things you
football
have to
team.
know.
I would agree with
because you can't hide a bad quarterback.
that. No.
You cannot hide.
You know-
I mean, well, if you have an absolutely exceptional
If you're the
defense
2000
with a
Baltimore Ravens.
fantastic offensive line
Or the-
and a great
the Mark
great
Sanchez
defense,
Jets.
exactly.
But they
that's
still
what
didn't
I
win.
was going
That's
toward.
what I knew.
Sanchez was a very average NFL quarterback. Trent Dilfer was a below average NFL quarterback. And
What was Joe Flacco?
They both, Sanchez
been
went to
talk-
2
Average.
You know what?
I
Joe
want to talk- I
Flacco's
want to talk
average.
over.
I think Joe
Average?
Flacco's average, but I think Sanchez is below that.
Yeah, I agree.
He's below that.
What about
And
Eli Manning?
Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. I don't even care what the argument is. He has 2 rings. I don't even care. Like, he's not that great now. But you know what? As a Jets fan,
You're jealous. I know.
I'll take Eli Manning for 2 Super Bowls, and I will pay him again this year and next year and the year after if you gave me 2. Because
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
Jets fan. I never seen one. So.
But he ain't.
Well, you know,
But you guys are gonna get Russell Wilson.
I hope
that would
to
be
God,
so
that'd be
dope.
the best thing
I
that
don't even
ever
want,
happened to us.
Don't even let Craig do this to us.
Oh,
Now,
don't.
personally,
Craig do
I'd
that to
love
us.
to see Russell
Oh,
Wilson.
it'd be
in
awesome.
this.
It's not- I
think
can't
it
even
would be
believe
an
it.
awesome thing.
I would love it. I'd love
I
it.
think it would be awesome. It would make football exciting for the Jets and the Giants. Right now, I feel like
You'd
the
be so
Giants
dope.
aren't excited this year. They
Yeah.
should be because you got some pieces.
Yeah,
But
it's-
the Jets are the more exciting team right
for
now.
sure.
That doesn't mean we're going to win more games. Never means we're going to win more games.
You got
But
the more
if you
exciting
brought in
players.
Russell Wilson, you
That'd be
immediately
dope.
overtake the Jets as the more exciting team.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
let's do
we're
it.
immediately all of a sudden competing in the NFC East.
Right,
We're
but-
the playoff team.
But the problem is,
let's do it.
You can't do it this year because you can't have Russell and Eli on the same
No,
team.
no, no.
Get rid of
Just
Eli.
can't.
Cut him now.
Well,
Holy shit.
Done.
they can't.
It's no respect.
They're a loyal organization.
Yeah.
They're a
But
well-run
they're loyal
organization.
to the wrong fucking people.
He's a guy who brought you 2 Super Bowls. The wrong
Yeah, but
person.
Come on, dude. It's been 8
It's not the
years.
guy-
I don't care.
It's
I
not-
don't care.
It's been so
Football
long.
is football is it's different. Any Super Bowl you've bought yourself years. Look how many years Joe Flacco bought himself
Yeah,
in
but
Baltimore.
has he bought himself another decade of just being bad?
Well, you're not.
Dude,
you're not
we
a
haven't won
decade.
games.
He
It's
can't
almost
buy
a
himself.
decade.
No, I'm saying he can't buy himself a decade now, but you can't kick him out now. He's on
Still?
his last year of his contract. Let him
Should've
play it
kicked him
out.
out 3 years ago.
This is the
Well, if you did it 3 years ago, it wouldn't have been as bad. But now that he's here, let him finish out the contract. You just traded away Odell.
So you're
Finish
saying
the
the
year.
Giants are that loyal that they skip up on a chance to get Russell Wilson
No,
just to
I
keep
think
Eli happy?
I think if the Seahawks called them and said either you do it this year or you don't do it at all, they would probably figure out a way to do it.
Good. So do it and get rid of Eli.
See, this is the New York issue.
But they'd have to trade Eli somewhere where he was going to start this year.
Have fun.
They
Like
would
wherever.
do that. They would be like, listen, we're doing this, but we're sending you to a team that's looking for a quarterback.
Cool. Let him
See,
go.
Which I don't
this-
even know if there is a
I mean,
team right now.
This
The-
is
the
the New York
Bengals?
issue, though. It's a what have you done for me lately? Which I'm not that guy. You know me.
Right.
I've spoken. I think Eli has been an amazing Giant. I appreciate everything he's done. Last year was my first year of like, okay, yep, definitely time to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But like he'll always have a special place in my heart, for what he did.
I don't know how we got on the NFL. But
Well, because let's go back real quick because we were
Yeah.
talking about sports real quick, and
Yep.
we were talking about difficulty and stuff. I just want to say that I realized how crazy good you have to be at quarterback after having Tony Romo come be a commentator. Because when you heard him say everything he knew exactly what the defense was going to do.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what the offense is going to do, and he couldn't win.
yeah, it's a good point.
You have to be so good
I
because
mean,
Tony
you got-
Romo wasn't. He was also physically
it
good.
If he
is
never
also
hurts his
different.
back, like it might have played a little better, but like I just feel like the Cowboys are like cursed.
Slightly.
Like, come on,
Because of
that
Jerry Jones.
They got too big for the
Tony
bridges.
Romo
Yeah.
fumbled the damn extra
That
point
was
snap.
weird.
Like that is crazy.
Yeah, that is
That's crazy. You think he doesn't do that? That team was good.
It's
might,
also
No,
a
Tony
different-
Romo is an underrated quarterback.
For sure, but it's also a different ball game than when you're sitting up there in the broadcast booth and you can see everything.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Totally
that's him
different to me
looking.
than
But
when
that's
you're
him
behind
watching
a
film.
line.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Right,
him watching
exactly.
film. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But like
breaking down
I think
film.
I don't think he's not seeing that there. I just think that, I mean, for a long time, who do you have to throw to? It was only Dez, and then who? Was
Jason Witten, dog.
Well, yeah, you
Yeah,
had
Jason
God.
Witten.
Witten the whole
Jason
time.
Witten could catch, and then when he
He
caught
had
it, he was there.
he had Miles Austin
Tavon
for 2
Austin.
years. That
Miles
was
Austin.
like
Who was the
Miles
Miles
Austin was
Austin
good
was
for him.
good for like
Yeah.
2 years. He had 2 really good years.
Am I thinking of Terrence Williams?
Yeah,
Terrence
Terrence
They
Williams
like
sucked.
tried to make Terrence Williams work for
Nah,
me.
yeah.
He wasn't it.
He wasn't it.
But
But it's okay, whatever. We're not Cowboys fans. So we want to
draft's
watch
coming up
Cowboys.
though, so maybe we'll have another little quick TV time about the draft
After
after
the
that.
Giants
Oh,
draft
after we mess it all,
happens.
don't get me started. We're not gonna do
We
it.
better.
We're not gonna do it.
Don't blow it.
We're gonna blow it. But yeah, we went really far from NBA.
We did.
playoffs.
We did.
Sports.
So we will just kind of cut it off, so that we can get to the most important topic of the day,
Well,
which is
real
what?
quick, you can't just cut it off like that.
Why
Who's your favorite coming out of the East
in the NBA playoffs?
in the NBA playoffs?
Celtics.
Okay, so you think Warriors Celtics?
Yes.
Clegg?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I'm pulling for the Bucks. I like.
Yeah, I'm
Giannis.
not saying you're okay.
I like Giannis. I'd
Well,
like
no,
to-
but
I-
we're saying who we
yeah.
think.
Who you
I-
think?
Yeah.
If you had a bet on it.
He's gonna keep the Bucks. I see it.
Yeah.
Seen his
I'm gonna
eyes.
go with the
I-
Raptors.
I
That's
put
funny.
my
We all
money
went
on
with
that.
something different.
I just
Yeah.
think there's a
Should we
lot of
make a-
turmoil in Boston.
Should
I
we make
don't
an
know.
on-air bet?
We should.
What do you mean?
I
What
don't
is
know.
it?
We all have a different team right now.
Everybody throw up $1,000 and
Okay, that we're not doing
What?
your kind of bets.
Drew bets.
Here's what we'll do.
how about $20
We'll
and
talk-
whoever wins gets the 40.
But what if none
Slight
of them
work.
win? We just get our
Well,
money.
then we
back?
all get our money back.
So what are we
If
putting
one-
in?
Just
Everybody
put
puts up 20
in
and
the pot.
whoever wins gets
Oh,
Winner
we're putting up
take.
20? Okay,
Yeah.
I could do that.
And this is just to
make it out
win
of
the
the
East.
East.
Win the
Yeah.
East.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Raptors, let's go.
No odds, huh?
Celtics
Because I am the 1
and
seed.
Bucks.
Oh, so
You are the
that's
one
good
seed.
for you.
But we're gonna
Yeah.
have to play each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah,
so it doesn't
yeah.
really matter. Drew's team Mike Lowe's to the match.
Nah, they'll figure
Nah,
it
yeah, I
out.
know. Kawhi's dirty,
But Kyle Lowry's trash.
Kyle Lowry.
Yo,
is rough.
isn't it funny?
Yo, they
though,
keep
how
they
he's
keep
been?
showing the clip of him getting blocked by Kevin Hart.
Oh no.
No, we gotta stop this. This will
Okay.
turn.
All
This
right,
will turn into a thing. All right, so guys, there we have it. NBA playoffs.
sticking to
Drew,
the TV topic.
Drew in the East. He has the Raptors,
Raptors.
and that's $20 to the Raptors, $20 for me for the Celtics, and $20 for Craig for the Milwaukee Bucks. But now, like I
But
said,
the Warriors
moving
are gonna
on.
win anyway. So.
Speaking of Warriors,
Yeah, you like that? Huh?
which this actually, now that I said it out loud, I'm like, that's
Doesn't really work, but yeah, they're Warriors. Kind of.
Speaking of fighting and violence,
Yes.
Game of Thrones. This is what we've been
Game of
waiting for,
Thrones.
right? We've been waiting, for some of us, we've been waiting, you went for 2 years, right?
This
Yes.
show,
Yeah,
this
I
show
watched last
caused
season
a
live.
heavy dispute on Twitter.
I was a late one. One year I waited.
Did you?
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
got to
watched all the
binge everything. I
episodes.
got to binge everything.
I binged up to season 6.
I
and
like
then I've been
started
live
watching it
since
because
then.
my sister has always been real into it, so she got me on it from like I was probably halfway through the first season when I started watching it, but I like would take breaks. Like I wasn't like looking forward to it like a lot of other people. Like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
can't wait for it to come back. Like I could.
My brother got me into it.
Yeah.
So
I
you-
watched the
I
first
didn't- I
episode
didn't
and
really-
didn't really care for
That's
it.
how I felt until
It was slow.
yo, it's sick. But the first time I was like, yo, this show's wild. Is when Ned Stark's head got cut.
Yeah. Well,
That's
well,
what I
and
was
I think
like,
that's what
yo.
caught a lot of people. 'Cause
How did
they're
you
like,
even
wait
see
a
it?
minute. I
Huh?
thought this was.
How did you even see that?
No, he
What do you
watched
mean,
the
how'd I
whole
see it? I
season.
watched
He's
the whole
saying he
thing.
just wasn't hooked until
I
that
wasn't
happened.
Oh, you
Hooked
weren't
into
hooked.
the
I thought you said
yeah.
you didn't start
Yeah.
until that.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
probably.
I was honestly confused. They had so many names too. It was like, oh, I got to remember this guy,
Yeah.
this guy,
Well,
this guy, this guy.
Well,
To be-
and
to be
then
fair,
you
this-
realize you don't have to remember all of them.
Any
that
of them
long
because they all
'cause
die.
They all die.
To be fair though, this is one of those shows where like with your normal watching habits is almost impossible to keep up with. Like 'cause
Mine.
you know, because like you'll like okay, you'll stop paying attention for if you stop paying attention to that show for like 5 minutes, you could miss so much.
Right.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's not a lot of shows that like get me like,
Yeah.
oh, you got to put down your phone, you got to put down everything. Like this is your time to focus on the show. Like The Sopranos got me there.
I mean, I'll give it to Game of Thrones. They got me. I mean, I'm not going to pick up my phone during the episode.
Really?
It's HBO. There's no commercial breaks. I'm watching.
Yeah, I could shoot some text
I got
while-
the app so I can pause and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, I was
Yeah, I
watching
can-
on HBO Go, but I wasn't pausing. I felt
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was watching live. But
Um,
I guess we should just start by saying, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched
Oh,
the newest
yeah.
episode, don't continue our episode until you watch that.
correct.
But
Yeah.
continue it after that.
And
Right.
Just
Make
so
sure
you
you pick
know,
up.
Why don't you guys subscribe? You know, we don't do enough
Like and subscribe.
promotion. Like, subscribe us. Come on, man. Why not?
And by the way,
Be a
real
friend.
quick, just a quick little thing. I was talking to a few people today who watched the show, and they didn't know that we're on Spotify. We are on Spotify.
Come on, son.
Arroz con Leche is on Spotify. Go find us. We're there.
Spotify.
Go to
Craig.
podcasts, search Arroz con Leche. You will find us. We are there. Spotify, iTunes,
Apple Music,
Apple Music.
YouTube.
Google
You do
Play.
not only have to watch us if you don't want to see our face. If you'd prefer to listen in the car, Spotify, man. We're there.
Yeah.
We're there. Katie and Eric did not know we were on Spotify. So
Well, Eric doesn't watch any of the episodes.
Well, he also said that he didn't like having to stream YouTube, and I told him, well,
Ain't
we're on
nobody
Spotify.
gotta stream YouTube. Come
So
on, Fouls. You're
we
better
are
than
there
this.
now.
Listen, we're creating obstacles for people to watch by putting it everywhere.
Right here we go.
How dare
So
us?
yeah, just real quick before we get into the actual episode, just to talk about our like he waited 2 years to see it. I waited 1 year. Drew was he's not as excitable as we are.
Man's
I
a
was
man's.
100% against the show at first. I hate all things Middle Earth. I hate all things. The last thing I liked that was this topic was Black Knight with Martin Lawrence.
That's funny.
I watched
So
that
you
at
did-
your house.
You didn't like. You weren't
First
a-
time I saw it at your house.
You
The
weren't a Lord-
Skywalkers?
Oh, yeah.
They called him a Skywalker.
You weren't a Lord of the Rings fan.
No, I hated Lord of
See,
the
me
Rings.
too. That's
Boring.
funny. You're one of the
Very
only other
boring.
people
Very boring.
I've ever met. That's
Couldn't
like,
do it.
yeah, it just,
The
it
Hobbit?
just wasn't it. The Hobbit was not it
I don't
for me.
care
Yeah,
about that, man.
I
But-
never did.
but
That's why
I
I
like
didn't think Game of
movies,
Thrones
man.
I would like.
Well, that's why I didn't even want to touch Game of Thrones.
Right.
And then they kept. Well, eventually my cousins were like, "If you watch Game of Thrones, I'll watch something you suggest." I watched Game of Thrones. They still haven't watched anything that I suggested. But Game of Thrones was awesome, and I came to love it.
my sister, who usually is like a good go-to with like shows, like she was adamant about it. She's like, this is the best show that's ever come out. Like, she'll have Game of Thrones parties. Like,
That's obviously
she's
the
one
best
of them.
show is very subjective, but
Yeah,
it
it's
is a great
subjective.
show.
It's
It's
very
a great
good.
show. So should we get into the episode?
Yeah, I guess.
They break down a little bit.
Wasn't that exciting?
Well, I know you weren't that happy, but I mean,
need
they had to
bloodshed.
bring us back to the world. They know it's been 2 years for a lot of people. They're like, we just got to show everybody's faces again, so everybody remembers who's around and stuff. Although there were some people that they didn't show.
Yes, Brienne of Tarth.
Brianna Tarth didn't show.
Where was she?
Who needs her?
No idea.
Don't
Nah,
need her.
but she's gonna play a big role.
She's a huge.
don't
she
need
is.
her.
First of all, she beat what's his name?
The Hound.
She beat the
Yeah,
Hound.
the Hound's
She could
still
fight.
alive.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Well, she let him. She let him live.
Well, she let him live, as did Arya.
Yeah.
You should never let your enemies live.
But I don't even think he's. I think she knew in the end game he's not her enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's why they
who-
had that moment.
If you're alive
really
and you're not a
knows that,
White
though?
Walker, you shouldn't be an enemy.
because
right
it
now.
still seems like everyone's so
But
lost.
she's
Like
got
even
a head on
Sansa.
her shoulders. She's smart. She sees
is
things
she
like
smart?
Jon Snow
Who are you
sees
talking about?
things. Brienne of Tarth.
No.
She's not dumb.
Drew doesn't like strong women.
No, I know.
Oh, here he goes. Another one.
But no,
Another
I
one.
just think that Brienne of Tarth knows she sees the end
She's just
game.
not it. She's just.
What
kind
about
of-
it? Is it her strength?
I think it's the way she talks.
Well, okay.
She just.
that's
she's just
that's
not
just all right.
it. She's not. I'm not rooting for Brianna Tarth. She could get got.
Because she's a
She
beta
very
male?
well may, but I guarantee you, if she gets got, she's going out in a heroic fashion.
Oh, for sure.
She's saving someone's
She's
life.
saving Arya.
Maybe
She's been trying to save Arya forever.
Right, that's her duty.
Yeah.
That's
she's
exactly
sworn
how it's
to
gonna
save
go on. You
Arya.
guys just ruined the show for me.
Well, we're gonna have predictions later, but
All right.
let's go into a little more specifics. There is one thing I'm gonna talk about just because the second it happened, I was watching with Drew, and the second it happened, I turned to Drew. I said,
Oh yeah.
"Are you ready for Instagram?" He was like, "What are you
my
talking
God.
about?"
The
I was like,
look.
the
No,
second.
I said it back to you. I said, "Oh."
Well, at first you said what?
Quote. Yeah, but
You know what I was talking
everybody knew it was all. I even sent you to the. You see the thing today I sent? I tagged you in
Yeah,
something
the
that
thing
a girl
today.
was out
I'm
there.
talking about yesterday.
My
When I
girl.
said yesterday, this is what's gonna
It's
happen
a
on
thing.
Instagram.
Whatever. Dude.
Except it was funny because they are making fun of it because she did say that. What she said. She said if you want
if you want a whore,
buyer.
if you want a queen,
Earner.
And
you're not
then
all queens,
she-
girls. You're not.
And then she fucked him right away.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, and
Yeah, she
right.
fucked him right
And
away.
she fucked
Then
him.
she went and was a hoe.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It
Hilarious.
was.
So every girl was
but
like,
I guess it was kind of like she was like, he did bring me the army. He said he would.
So he
brought me
earned
the
it.
ships. He
it
said he
wasn't
would.
that. It was that he was the.
And I haven't been fucked in a while because Jamie's
That's
gone.
what- yeah. Well,
So-
it's because he's the alpha male.
Right.
He's the guy. He's out there like.
Well, she even
She
said
likes
it. She
someone
loved his
giving it-
arrogance
Right.
or his
right.
whatever.
She likes the arrogance.
Ew,
She said,
gross. Although
hate
Cersei,
her, man.
Cersei hasn't been it since she cut her hair.
Cersei was
Oh.
never really it.
She was better
like
looking.
better looking, but she wasn't it because right from the start you knew she was fucking her brother, and it was just like
Yeah, that was weird.
it's a
That
little
was weird.
gross.
But now she like kind of looks like a boy, and she still
Well, yeah,
messes
ever
with her
since
brother.
the whole shame,
It's not for me.
shame.
Yeah,
she
that was
kinda-
hilarious.
She never
I love
bounced
that
back.
part. See what happens when you try to be like Cersei, girls?
Yeah, that was
Shame,
the time where I
shame.
thought they may humanize Cersei, and they just didn't. She
No.
just got even worse.
I think. Yeah. There is no human in her.
Yeah, no.
She first of all, I'm not even gonna go.
Yeah, we should say the
I was
predictions.
gonna
'cause
go.
I'm gonna talk.
Well, I was gonna fully bother you, but I'm not gonna do it.
Me?
Alright.
Bother me, dog. You always bother
it's
me.
Okay.
You bother her.
Your 2 points. You literally were like, Brianna Tarth. Fuck that strong woman. You're like that part where Cersei was really fucking shamed for being a whore. Loved it.
Well, it was fucking hilarious because she deserved that since day
Well,
one.
she
was
deserves way more
trash.
than that.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. She finally got
deserves
something
to
from that.
die.
But like so many people deserved it. Well, who's your least favorite character of the show? Who do you think deserves to die or deserved to die more than anyone else on the show?
Joffrey.
You're like alive or dead. You're saying
Joffrey.
so like
Yeah.
Joffrey's
Yeah.
like. Oh, I hate Cersei more than I hated. I hated
Well,
Joffrey.
Cersei
Don't get me
sucks.
wrong, but I think his reign was so short lived
Right.
that I've hated. Like my hate for Cersei is so much
Okay.
Well,
deeper.
we all
I
have
can hear
different.
that.
We all have different answers.
Who's yours?
Mine is what's his name? The one bastard.
Oh, Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ramsey
that's
Bolton.
true. I
You know
forgot
what?
about him. He's
Bolton.
the worst.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
Yeah. How did I forget
You might be
about
right
that
about
guy?
that.
He's
the
Yeah.
worst.
Like
Yeah.
like him.
The things he did were just so
No,
unfathomable.
he
Vile.
needed to. I thought he got off easy with the way he died.
Yeah.
well,
just
that's
the
because
dogs?
Jon Snow had something to do with it.
Right.
He's
He's
so
a
noble.
heroic, noble guy.
How would you have killed him?
Slices.
I probably would have let Theon kill him.
Well, Theon wasn't even around at the time.
No,
right?
yeah, I would have waited. I would have just chained him up and
Well,
said,
who-
"Don't worry,
who
I
el-
got your."
I would have
killer."
chained
Yeah,
him.
but didn't-
I would have chained him to those same cages and pulled his dick through the little hole there, and then I would have let the dogs go at it.
We got to get a clip of
thought
Craig's
about this
reaction to
before.
that.
I thought what he did to Theon was Theon
absolutely.
was the worst, and it fucked
Yeah.
with my head.
Oh.
And so in my head, I'm like, okay,
You didn't think
This
what
guy
Joffrey
needs-
was doing to Sansa was terrible?
Not as
Yeah,
bad
no,
as getting. He didn't cut off Sansa's dick.
Yeah, but like,
I think Joffrey also.
And the way he mentally fucked with Theon.
yeah, but that.
I think the fact that Joffrey was a kid too.
Yeah,
like
I guess.
I didn't hate him as much only because it was like
That
this
made me hate
kid
him
on
more,
a power
though.
trip.
Made me
Joffrey was
hate
a
him more.
prick.
He's like a
He
little
was a
bitch.
prick.
Yeah, he was an absolute prick. He was on a power trip.
Bolton was
And
a
he
fucking.
got his.
Monster.
He was a psycho.
He was a monster. Like you thought it couldn't get worse than Joffrey, and then they
Yeah.
introduced him, and you
Yeah.
were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Well, and the craziest part is that Cersei still could be the worst out of all of them,
Well,
And-
she's a terrible person.
and she's still alive, and she's Joffrey's mother. Like it's all
Hey man.
wild shit.
Well, who else is that's
Yeah, I
James?
changed my vote.
That's
I
Jamie's
hated
kid.
Ramsay.
Yeah,
more.
Ramsay was my favorite, my least favorite.
You
Sorry.
were right about
Thanks,
that.
guys.
That's a good point.
Who was that other guy
what's
that
your next?
didn't have a big part of the show, but he was a bitch? Was it Ramsay's father?
Well, he killed him.
kinda
He
talked
killed his
like
father.
this, and he
Oh,
had
no,
the
no, Walder
long
Frey?
hair. Frey, yeah, he was.
Oh,
a
the
bitch
dude with
Frey.
all-
Well, Arya
Hated-
got him
hated
good.
Frey. That's right.
Made him eat his
That's
thighs
right.
Oh,
and
That's
then slit his throat.
right.
Yeah.
I thought,
That's
you were talking about the
right.
dude that fucked his.
He
old-
sucked
hated
too
him.
because he's the one who hosted the red wedding.
Hated him.
We hated him
Yeah.
as well.
Who were the
That's
who were the who was
Yeah.
the guy that was fucking his daughters?
Him.
Him.
It was him.
Yeah.
Him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that
he
guy.
was a
Yep.
creep.
Yeah, I got was
Yeah.
nasty. So
Didn't
All
like Littlefinger either, but
Yeah, but he didn't
was
bother
like,
me as much.
nah,
He kind of
yeah.
made me laugh.
it's the way
Yeah.
he was bad
Yeah.
that
Right.
was different.
right.
But all right. So we're gonna just go through. We're gonna do a couple things about the episode. We're gonna go one by one and say, start out with what part did you like or was your favorite. Now, technically, Craig kind of already he's gonna talk about everyone's favorite, but
Well, it's the only good part.
for the sake that's another argument.
Tell him.
For the sake of the segment, I'm going to talk about one part before we get into this other part.
Yeah.
Which is that it was really cool that if you guys, I don't know if anybody watched the after the episode thing, but even if you just happen to just know everything about Game of Thrones already, is they started season 8 exactly how they started season 1, except where the army that was coming in was the Lannisters with Robert Baratheon
Right.
and
Cersei,
Cersei.
yeah.
It was Jon Snow and Daenerys coming in with the they have the
Multiple
Unsullied.
armies,
Yeah, they got a
yeah.
bunch of armies coming in. With Arya, so much stuff. Arya letting the boy come through to watch, who was Arya back in the
Right.
day.
Yep.
Yep.
It was just like they reset everything,
No, it was dope.
and you're like, okay, we have a square one. Like
Right.
we're finally at a place. When's the last time you were in Game of Thrones where anything was at a standstill for even a moment?
Right. Yeah, season 1.
Yeah.
Season 1.
They all come to Winterfell.
The
That's where-
second that Jamie did this, nothing stopped.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It just was nonstop from
Yeah.
that moment. Which even Jamie, we even saw Jamie look at Bran like,
Oh,
"You're alive?
Well,
Oh,
that
shit.
was dope. That
You're
was a good
alive?
moment.
How
That was
are you
a good moment on
alive?"
the show.
That was my second
Good
favorite,
moment.
But
And
yeah,
then-
maybe that's your favorite.
Yeah, definitely.
You
not my
just said
favorite.
it was a good moment, and
It
you
was a
said
good
you
moment,
hated the
not
whole
my
episode.
favorite. I didn't say I hated the whole episode. I said I don't have a favorite part. There's
Well, you have a
there's
good moment.
Yeah, it's a good moment. There's also a good moment with Jon Snow riding on a dragon, but like
No.
I needed a whole new world playing in the background of that. Or something. They
That's
should
first
have
of
like
all-
come up with a new
Well,
song, you know,
that's
like a
the
love song
thing.
like that.
Yo,
I
that's so
didn't
funny.
think that was a good moment.
That's so funny.
I thought that was an unnecessary moment.
You didn't think it was just absolutely romantic, Craig?
I will say, how funny though.
There's no time for romance. The White Walkers are through the fucking wall.
Do you think you could play Bran?
No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Watch me.
Well,
Watch me.
yeah.
I'm waiting for an old friend.
Yeah, but you guys don't look as creepy as he looks. He looks like a creep.
You have to tell him now. Tell them. You have to do it.
But you're his brother.
You're more of a brother
not
to
Bran.
him than I've ever been.
I hate how he
Sucking
keeps saying
accents.
he's not Bran.
He's not. He's 3-eyed Raven.
It's so
Three-eyed Raven.
sketch. You're fucking
Bran
Bran
is
dog.
dead.
Bran's alive.
Bran's dead. Bran's been
He's
dead.
possessed.
But so that was your favorite part, the whole kind of full circle moment.
Well, technically, my favorite part is your favorite part, but I just didn't want to double up on it.
I just think that was the point of this episode.
it was the
Yeah.
the culmination of the episode.
Yeah.
All led to that.
I'm all
moment.
coming
Right.
back together for
So
sure.
go
It's
ahead.
either there's a major death in episodes or there's like a battle. This was the fact that we now know Jon Snow is finally aware who he truly is. He's Aegon Targaryen, sixth of his name. Blah blah
Sixth.
blah blah blah.
His rapper name is Atar.
So I thought it was cool. I liked the dynamic of it being Sam. I think Sam was the one who should tell him.
Yeah.
And I also thought it was interesting that it was kind of led in with Sam finding out that Daenerys
Yeah, that
kills
shit was
his dad and his
fucked.
brother.
Shit's
It was a weird thing because he kind of hated his dad, but it's still his dad. He did not hate his brother.
Well, he didn't. They even
But
said in the
unfortunately,
after
it's-
episode thing, his reaction was different. Like
right,
him
it's
killing the
because
dad
he's
was
not
like
100%
Right.
sure how to feel.
He was gonna
But
let
his
that
brother,
slide.
But
he-
then his brother
his
died,
brother
and
was
it's
like,
like,
fuck, yeah.
shit, I have no family to go home
Right.
to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I just thought it was cool that it was Sam, and I thought it was cool it was in the crypts of Winterfell, where, like, you know, Jon Snow thinks, like, this is where all the famous Starks go, this is where he'll be one day.
You ain't a Stark, dog.
You're not a Stark. But you are.
He is.
You're
He
half
is.
Stark, but
He's
your
both.
name is Targaryen. I mean, you wouldn't be in Winterfell.
Right.
That's
His
not where
name's
you
Snow.
technically belong.
So if you're Jon Snow when you find that out, is there
At the age he is,
at the
having died and came back to life.
is there any chance that the first thought in your mind isn't, who did I just fuck?
Right.
Wow,
Like, wait,
it
let me
should-
do
Wait,
this.
wait,
Let me
wait.
do
Who
this.
am I?
Who,
It
wait,
totally
wait, wait,
should
wait.
be.
Let me track this family tree. Shit.
Yo, you know who
Aunt
she actually
Dany.
ended up? Yeah, she's aunt.
And Danny.
She's the aunt.
Yeah, she's his aunt.
But like, would it have been like?
Her brother is his.
Here's the
is
question.
Jon's
That's
father.
it?
Is it worse or better than fucking?
Fucking the brother sister thing, definitely worse, or definitely not worse.
It's
but,
only
guess,
better
yeah.
because he didn't know.
right.
Yeah.
Yo, and that thing
Jamie and
was, like,
Cersei
okay
know
back then.
damn well what they're doing.
Yeah, they were.
Does that
sketch.
work in real life? Like if somebody, one of our friends, fucked a cousin, and then found out after it was their cousin, do we give that friend
They're a cousin fucker.
a pass?
No, they fucked.
Yo,
that
I
up.
almost feel like I don't know. I almost
about
feel
to
like
say you know somebody that did that?
not like I've heard stories of people talking, like they were talking, they were dating,
Oh, and then found out.
and they found out at a family reunion they were related.
Dude, Lon told us not to tell this story. On
That's not true, guys.
It's not long.
true.
I don't
Well-
remember who told me the story, but it wasn't the person. It was someone that they knew. It wasn't them who told it to me, but they told me they found out at a family reunion that they were cousins. You know, like
That's fucked.
third cousins or something.
Well, you know the rule in Somerville, where we're from.
Everybody's
If
cousins.
you're black in Somerville, you got to be careful because there's all the surrounding towns with all the related people.
Yeah.
Bridgewater, Hobbstown. If you know Hobbstown, that's pretty much the mecca. That's where it all comes
Yeah.
from, Hobbstown.
Yep.
But like literally, if you're black in Somerville and you meet somebody black and you want to talk to them, do an ancestry
Yeah,
because you might be.
there are
you
large
know.
family trees, family roots planted in
Yeah.
Somerville, Bridgewater.
Zoe, our friend Zoe, whose grandparents are some Hobbstown natives, his grandpa had 21 brothers and sisters.
Holy cow!
That's why all of this area has so much of that family.
Densely populated.
Densely populated. So be careful.
Yeah.
Beware. Because you
Crazy.
might be in Game of Thrones. Yeah, so Drew, I don't know
What?
where your family's from, but be careful there too.
Be careful.
So we talked about what we liked. Obviously, that whole culmination of coming to the Jon Snow Samuel Tilly moment was awesome, and we know it leads into crazier shit that's gonna come.
It better.
So, what didn't you like about the episode? What made you mad? Whether it was a scene, whether it was something about the show itself. What bothered you last night?
The lack of the romantic song when he was on the dragon ride. No? How perfect would that have been if they just threw in a little whole new world there?
That's not the show.
You're too much.
All right, the lack of the fucking the White Walkers, man. Like, I'm ready for them. You know, we've been waiting all this time. We've seen them a few times. It's episode fucking 1 of the last season, and I didn't get enough White Walker action.
I did
Yeah, I
think
hear
we
you
were
on
gonna
that.
I
get
didn't.
one when they went into that place. I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna see one.
Or at least like a scout they left behind or something.
Or one of those things that has
Like,
only
come
half a
on,
body.
man.
Yeah.
Or something, you know.
And Nick also lied to me and told me the episode was an hour and a half long,
Oh,
so
no,
he
no, no.
really got my hopes up.
No, the world lied to us.
Well, we were told they were all going to be an hour and a half. Now we come to find out they're not a single episode is an hour and a half long.
And they're all an hour with a half hour of like the post game on it.
No,
one of them
like
is
they're-
one of them's an hour and 20, right?
Yeah, episode 3 I think is an hour and 22 minutes.
All lies.
Next episode is only 56. This one was 54.
Oh man.
And then the rest are like an hour 10 to an hour 15.
yeah, I needed the fucking White
They said the
Walkers.
total runtime of this season is about 10 minutes shorter than last season, and last season was 7 episodes. So they give you some extra,
Yeah.
but it's not quite what we were all expecting. We were all thinking maybe, 10 hours worth of footage, and we're
Give me
getting
the
more.
White
I
Walkers.
think we get White Walkers next episode.
We better.
I think so.
Because I think you're gonna see
There's
them
only
coming.
5 left.
It seems as
Yep.
though they're pretty close.
Oh, they got.
So-
Well, that actually brings me to my issue.
Yeah.
My thing that bothers me the most is the time Like, they really don't. It doesn't make sense the way people travel throughout this. Is Westeros the whole thing?
There's magic.
Is the whole
Yeah,
thing Westeros?
Yeah.
The way people travel through Westeros makes no sense to me. Like, when people got to be somewhere quick, they get there. When they need it to last long, they're like, yo, you know it's gonna take forever for us to get there, right?
They got dragons.
No, they have dragons now. They didn't have
But
dragons
they only
before.
have 2
I'm
dragons.
kidding.
That whole army.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Like,
Well,
look, like
well,
I swore.
I need to go back
What?
and watch the last episode to see what it was like when Jamie left on his journey, because the episode
Waking
ends
up
with him
bearded.
arriving.
Right.
So I guess we could maybe get a sense of time by maybe if he looks different, looks a little, maybe has more of a beard, or I don't know. I mean,
Is Westeros?
Well, didn't he left right after Jon Snow and Daenerys left, and they got the whole army there days before he got there.
yeah, I mean the time stuff. Is
but that's the thing. Was it days, or was that episode 1 day? Like, we don't know.
right. Well, do we know how big Westeros is, or like what the equivalent is? Like, so how
I'm
much
sure-
they
I'm
have
sure
to move around?
someone's got it
Is
mapped
it
out
is it
somewhere.
is it like little Europe where like you can travel to another place?
What's Little Europe?
You know, like Europe, you can go country to country in hours. It's not like the United
with
States.
with a train.
Yeah, with a
They have a great
yeah.
train system over there.
But still, it's smaller distance than if you're going just New Jersey to California. That would take you months, years. Probably.
You ready for this?
In previous seasons, I swore that Littlefinger had a MTA card.
Did
And he had the
might
Westeros
have.
subway because he would just be everywhere.
Well, he also had a little finger.
If you're including Dorne, which is where the sand,
Yeah,
know,
that's the cool part. With
looks like
Oberyn.
Persia almost.
Yeah, where
Auburn?
they like
Yeah.
they like really didn't do enough there. They should have did more there.
If you're including Dorne, they say from the wall to Dorne is about 3,000 miles,
So it's the United States.
pretty much.
Okay.
So you're talking
So that's a
about
hike.
like, yeah, it's an absolute hike, and
long
we're
one.
talking horse and carriages here and
Yeah.
feet. So I don't know. That's the thing that they never really tell us either, is exactly how much time has passed from episode to episode. Like, it feels like it picks up and it's like, oh, this episode was 1 day and the next day is the next episode.
Right.
But there could be time in between that where, there's
I guess
idle time.
yeah, I guess mine is really just travel time. I feel like people
Yeah,
just,
no, I'm with you
people
on that.
like just kind of go places, and depending on what the story needs, that's how long it took them to get there.
Yeah.
Like in the preview to the episode after this, you see the wildling guy. What's his name again?
Oh, the redhead
Dormand,
dude.
I think. Is
Is it
that
Dormand? I
Dormand?
forget.
I think
Dorman, the
that's
redhead
Dormand.
wildling guy
know.
that used to hate Jon Snow, that now loves Jon Snow. He's the one that found the little White Walker thing in this episode. And so the White Walkers came to a town.
Tormund with a T.
Tormund.
Yeah.
So the White Walkers came to a town, murked everybody. Tormund and his boys found them. The White Walkers are on their way to Winterfell.
So we think.
So we think, or at
assume
least
that's where they're going.
wherever they're going to get people.
I just thought of something.
What do you think of?
Breaking
What
news.
if they're going to King's Landing?
Whoa.
They're going right for
and they're
Cersei?
gonna
Whole
murk
well,
Cersei?
no one knows. The whole army is here in Winterfell. Cersei's thinking she's leaving
they
herself for
murk her?
last, and they murk
That'd
the
be
King's
dope.
Landing first.
And then they come? That'd
and
be
then
pretty dope.
Winterfell's got the entire army
That'd be
to
dope.
fight what's left from King's Landing getting murked.
See, but then that throws off that little thing they gave us at the end where he, unless they fuck with us.
Well, we don't know
Because
I mean,
that's what threw me
that
off is that
point
quote.
that quote could be next episode.
You're
It
right.
could be just
'Cause
later in the season.
They
What was the
G'd
quote
us. He goes,
said-
they'll be here by sunrise.
Oh, right.
He said, "How long do we have?" Not before.
Yeah,
sunrise,
that
or
I
not
think that
after
was
sunrise
a
or something.
like a season preview though. I don't think that
Well,
was
yeah,
just one
that's what we're
episode.
saying. It could be
Yeah.
be season.
Yeah, that
I
could,
mean, episode 4
But
or
like
5.
with only 6 episodes, I feel like that has to happen soon.
they love
I think
throwing
by
fluff in
3
there.
we got to have a battle.
Yeah,
Better.
at least
Yeah.
one fight.
Yeah.
better.
So,
Even
but
if it's
that's
not
the thing, like,
internally.
I'm done with
I
Game
guess
of
you
Thrones
need a
if we don't
map.
have a
You
fight
must
by
need a
episode
map
3.
because I assume Winterfell's got to be one of the first major cities after the Wall because that's where they're expecting
It is, isn't
the
it?
White Walkers
how far,
to come.
How far is the wall from?
Right.
That's got to be the closest city.
It's got to be,
no?
right? So if that's the case, then it would make sense. That's why they're all going to Winterfell because they assume that's the first place the White Walkers are going to hit.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that would be an interesting twist if it was like, oh, well, Cersei doesn't want to send her army. Well, too bad. We're coming to her.
Right.
And we wipe her out.
That'd be wild. That would be cool. Good.
But then you got like a giant White Walker army that's even bigger because they just took
Yeah,
out
I mean,
all of King's Landing.
But how can anyone beat the White Walkers? Because once they kill someone,
they rise.
right, they
Right.
get
Well,
another
that's
person.
what the
So,
dragon
like,
glass
what?
is for.
Oh, it kills,
They-
kills them.
they're gone.
Right. I forgot.
So
about
they got
that.
all this dragon glass that they're mining and making these weapons. You got Gendry leading the way.
The Hound is gonna kill with that axe.
Oh yeah,
Gonna
absolutely.
murk with that axe that he complained about.
I think Gendry's gonna make himself like a hammer too. You remember how he used to
Yep.
carry around
Yep.
that hammer? He'll make himself a dragonglass hammer, which would be cool.
If only we
now,
still had Hodor.
quick question. Now that you made me think of it, what is Valerian Steel do the same job?
Valerian Steel
I
kills
think so,
White Walkers
yeah.
as well.
Okay,
Yes, but it's
okay.
much rarer. They don't know where they can't find
It's much
Valerian
rarer
Steel
than
regularly.
dragonglass.
Yeah, well,
Well,
now that
that's-
they found
which
this
they just
dragonglass
found,
mine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that means the needle's gonna do work.
Yeah, well, Jon
Is
Snow's.
the needle Valerian Steel?
Yeah, Jon Snow's
He said
sword
it- he
and
said
Well,
it
no,
and
the
hers.
dagger is. Her little dagger is not her.
No, her
not-
little dagger's dragon.
But the because
Glass.
the needle,
No,
the
'cause
needle
that-
is made from the sword.
Yeah, it's
of,
Valerian Steel, the
yes.
needle.
We'll go back.
Her
but
little,
I'm pretty,
her
I'm pretty
little
sure it's-
knife, I
yeah.
think, is dragon glass. Remember, she pulls out the knife.
Well, that's what she pulled out, and they said Valerian Steel
Which
in the episode.
which is a hilarious moment because he goes.
Because he showed Gendry, and Gendry said, Valerian Steel, you're just another rich girl. And it was the little dagger. It was
it
not
the dagger,
her
though?
needle.
It wasn't the needle.
I thought it was a needle.
I thought he pulled out. She
No.
pulled out the sword first, and then
she did, and then he said, but what's that? And pointed
Right.
at her little thing.
Right.
And
How-
then that's when I thought,
her
I'm
little
pretty
thing.
sure that was her Valerian Steel, that little dagger.
Well, either way, she's good. I'm not worried about
Oh,
Arya.
she's good.
She'll
Well,
be all right.
She was
She'll take care
cracking.
of
She was
herself.
cracking me up when John was like, "Have you killed anybody with that? Have you used that?"
She said once or
Once or
twice.
twice.
Said,
Yeah, right.
Arya, you've been
Yeah.
murking people
That was
for
a cool
seasons.
moment of the show, too. The
Oh,
reunion of Jon Snow
was
and
a good
Arya.
one.
And everybody, you saw. First of all, John, all the people John saw, you couldn't believe he was when he saw Bran. The whole time he saw Bran from the horse, he was like,
Yeah.
"What? Jeez, I gotta get off this horse."
And
Like, I
then,
don't-
Right.
and then Bran's just like,
Yeah, I'm not.
Aye.
I'm not
yeah.
Bran anymore.
yeah.
I
Well,
am
Bran
not
immediately was just
Bran.
like, "Oh, you're happy?"
and Sam telling when he told Jon Snow, he said, I had a maester's diary and Bran had whatever Bran has.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Man. So I mean, we don't. Westeros is a weird place.
I like that one line
I don't
that
know how it
when when he's hugging Arya, she says the thing about like don't forget
Right.
we're your family.
Except,
Yeah.
well, he
Is
is
Daenerys
still
his
family.
too?
Still family. Yeah,
Still
exactly.
Stark.
Well, that's the thing. He's torn. Now he's
Yeah.
ultimately torn. He's half Stark, half Targaryen.
Well, he's
so
got to bring.
he's got to be exactly,
He
which
has
is
to
why he has to be the king because he's the only one who can bring both parties together.
Well, that's why what Sam said was super important, right? He said, what did he say? He said that you gave up your crown to save the people.
Right.
Right.
Would she do the same?
Right. And I don't think she will.
I don't think.
I
so
don't
either.
know.
If you want to get to my
Because they
predictions.
might be well, yeah. Well, let's not do predictions. Let's not
Yeah.
do predictions. So
Oh,
let's
I got
do what
predictions.
else people got. So White Walkers, traveling time, and Greg really. What did you really dislike?
I just thought that there was a lot of fluff in the episode. I just felt like, but at the same time, there's
Thought
a
you
lot
loved
of
the dragon scene.
Well, the dragon scene was ultimate fluff. I felt like that was a 2-minute scene that maybe could have been 25 seconds. He gets on the dragon. He flies away. Daenerys looks, smiles. She flies away. That's it.
She
that
fell
could have
in
been the
love
end
with
of the
him.
episode.
She was head over
I mean, the
heels
end of
after that.
that little part. I don't know. I just think that, like I said, there's no fucking time for romance. The White Walkers are fucking miles away. Like,
Well,
and John's the one this whole time who says there's no time to fight, this, that, and the third. We got the White Walkers coming, yet he's got time to screw his aunt.
I agree.
don't know.
To
It's
be
just
to be
weird.
fair,
Hypocrite.
pussy's powerful.
Yeah, no, it is.
And she even asked him. Sansa asked him, "Did you bend the knee because to
Right.
save us, or did you bend it
And
because
he
you love her?"
didn't
answer.
And luckily, they cut the scene.
Yeah,
right?
they cut
They
the
said,
scene.
"We're not gonna talk about that."
No, someone walked in.
Someone did walk in.
Yeah,
Okay,
someone
did walk
walked in to tell him something.
Tells her he's like, "Ooh, thank God someone."
That was
came
another
out
good
there."
line. I like that one.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I thought the dragon scene was necessary. The way they did it maybe wasn't necessary. It was necessary for a couple things, though, to show again because they're still bringing people back to what's happening. That John has a good relationship with the dragons.
Yeah,
he
they
learned
trust him.
how
But so do
to
that.
control the dragon. He learned how to actually use it.
Kind of.
Well, he brought it down to
I
where he
think
wanted to. That's what he brought. That place he brought with the waterfalls where he used to hunt. He
Right,
literally
no,
saw it.
yeah,
He
right,
said,
yeah.
"Yep, we're going down there," and he took it.
Well,
That's why
but
Daenerys was like,
when
"Wait,
he
what?"
saw the dip, he went, "Oh shit," because
Right.
he knew the dragon
yeah.
was dipping.
Yeah.
But he got him to land.
Yeah,
we were
he
saying
once
got
he,
it.
then he
that
understood.
feeling on
Then he
a
was like,
roller
"Okay,
coaster.
I get this
Right.
now."
That's
I
what
get
that must
this.
have been like.
Yeah.
That feeling on a roller coaster when you're going straight down.
But
I mean,
that's
the dragon thing is there's still some.
well, they had to show. And then they just had to show that Daenerys was further falling in love,
Right, right.
so that this could be
Right.
an even harder thing for everyone to
Right,
handle.
absolutely.
Because
but I
Jon
think
Snow's
that
gonna
what's
kill her
his
in the
name
end.
had the best idea. Was it the eunuch who was talking about it?
The eunuch, Tyrion, and Davos.
Yeah, just fucking get married.
Yeah,
Be
just do
the
it together.
ultimate power couple.
What did they
of-
call them?
of-
He said a just queen and a noble king.
And a
or
noble
something.
king or something like that. Yeah,
That was good.
yeah.
But I think that was literally there to put that in our heads So
to
that
know
they
it's
can, so
not.
that they can fuck that up
Yeah,
for us later.
exactly. Yeah,
That's-
because I don't think. Like you said,
That's
I
too
think
perfect of an
I
ending.
think Daenerys, how we've seen where she's come from since season 1, like she's not giving up that throne.
No,
At
that's
least
all she
not-
cares
At least
about.
not that easy.
Well, someone said to me today, they were like, I think my cousin said, she was like, she's gonna get the Mad King thing.
Well, that's what it kind of seems like. She's starting to get like this like power trip, like this crazy like, well, wait a minute, if Sansa's not going to be nice to me,
Yeah.
I'm her queen,
Right.
that kind of thing. Like, yeah, but you're still in
He's gonna
Winterfell.
kill her
and-
at the
She
end.
has always been like that though. Even when, like
No,
when she finally
absolutely.
got into her power, she was always like, okay,
Bruh, she fucking
I'm
burned
nice,
down
but
that
like-
fucking building at the Dothraki women's
Right.
camp thing
That
where
was
the
sick.
Oh, yeah,
where the
yeah.
wives of the dead husbands go.
That's
She
awesome.
Yep.
fucking was like, oh, this is what you want. I'm gonna kill you all, and I'm gonna walk out of this building.
well, when she grabbed the Unsullied, it was awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
When she was like, okay, how much? Yeah. Oh, so they're all mine now? Okay. Murked.
you're dead.
That
Yeah.
was awesome,
Yeah,
man.
no,
I mean, she's a cool character. She's a cool character.
She's cutthroat.
Me and Drew were talking though. Is it kind of crazy that she is like a 10 out of 10 on the hotness scale as Daenerys, and then as Amelia Clark,
very regular.
she's okay.
Amelia Clark, very regular.
That's what a good actress
But I
is.
think it's also the fact of the like she's got like
an attitude.
she's got like
got
a weird haircut too in regular life.
She
Like,
does,
it's like
she does.
short,
She looks like a mom.
chop.
She
top
does, though. You're
cut,
right.
Dark. This a different color. It's just
It's not
Daenerys
it.
just has this like
her
thing.
eyes in the show are brought out, like the green is
Yeah.
brought out. It makes her look more exotic.
Of course.
But
Dude, and she's
Well,
a
is
queen.
is she Targaryen in real life?
Yeah.
what would you be?
Amelia Targaryen.
I would be the thing we talked about before.
He'd be a White Walker.
No, I'd be with the Persian people.
A eunuch.
Oh.
He'd be a eunuch.
You're from Dorne.
I'd be a Dorne for
Next
sure.
a eunuch.
Makes sense.
Dornish. Interesting.
I'd be a fucking
My ancestry
Stark.
says I have a lot of Persian.
I'm
and stuff
pale
like
like a
that.
Stark.
You might be a
I'd
you
be
might
a
be a
Stark.
winter.
You don't
you're-
have to-
I'd be a Winterfell.
maybe not
Yeah.
Stark, but you'd be a Winterfell person.
I was gonna say you don't have the
You're
darker
in the
hair,
north.
but they have reddish hair
Yeah,
actually,
dude.
so you would work.
You're in the
Been
north.
there. I'm a Stark.
Don't tell me.
You're a Greyjoy.
You know who you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Not great.
What
are
yeah,
you?
they're from Lebanon. Lebanese.
What?
No, the Dornish are actually more.
kidding.
They're
more on
the
that-
Persian,
on that,
the Middle Easterns.
But no.
Are you a fucking Lannister?
I don't know.
No,
who I
Craig's
would
not a
be.
Lannister.
He's,
Nah,
a,
I
he's a
guess I'm-
supremacist.
I don't know who I'd be, because I'm a mix, man. I'm Jon Snow. I'm a mix.
Oh, you can't be Jon Snow. You can't be fucking Jon Snow. You're
No.
a
You're
wild.
more like
Not literally
You look
Jon
more like
Snow.
Tyrion.
He's a
I'm
wild.
not literally, but I'm like a fucking.
You are a wildling. That's
I'm
what
not a
you
goddamn
are. You know who is a
wildling.
wildling? Ted.
Ted
would
is
be
a
wild.
100% a wild. He would have been one of the giants.
Oh shit.
would be a
Teddy Bland. I know you don't watch the show, but
Teddy.
if you happened to, shout out to Teddy Bland.
Yo, Ted is the most epic liar of all time.
Wow,
I've
we're
never
going
seen
there?
someone lie with no regard for the truth. Like as
Well, he was
like,
a pathological liar.
Yo-
He believed his own lies.
But
I
he-
think
but he
he's
would
more
lie
of
about
just
stuff
an
that you-
entertaining storyteller.
That too.
but like he lied about stuff you didn't have to lie about. One
For
time
the
we were
made it
talking,
more
entertainment
entertaining.
factor.
like we were
Right.
talking football one time. He was like, Noel Devine. Noel Devine's never been tackled.
Well,
did say that.
he also
Ted, what? We all play football. It's impossible. He said, no, he either scores a touchdown or he runs out of bounds.
he,
Ted,
this
come
is
on.
the same guy who we had Ted in one fantasy football league, and he drafted Victor Cruz #2 overall after his preseason.
After he went off against the Jets.
That's wild.
Yeah.
He had a decent season.
Wasn't
Nah,
wearing,
it was-
wasn't
no, he
even
got
wearing
hurt.
the
He was
right
out the whole
number.
year.
Yeah, he didn't even play that
For
year.
that first year?
he
Did not play
He
that
was
year.
out.
And he was a different number then, and then he
He
changed
was
his
three.
number.
Well, he was three.
He was 3
on
in
the
on the
preseason.
practice.
Yeah,
squad,
and that's
yeah.
when Rex Ryan like walked up to Coughlin and said, "You got yourself a player there, #3," because he caught like 3 touchdowns
Right.
on us.
One-handed.
Oh, he
Yeah.
was like
catches.
160. and
What a
3
shame,
touchdowns.
man.
He was so good.
couldn't-
If he never, the
Yeah,
patella tendon
patella.
thing ruined the whole everything.
Yeah.
That team with Victor Cruz
Wow,
and
we're
him.
back to NFL football.
Yeah,
No,
let's
we
not-
are. We're wild here. Man,
This
we-
this is why this episode is for this.
yeah.
This is nonsense.
Is
So
this a nonsense cast?
I mean, not really, but it's TV time, baby.
I'll tell you, it's a
time.
full length cast.
It is.
It's
That's
a full
full
length.
length,
It did end up
yeah.
being full length.
So,
So,
hey,
let's get to the end.
yeah.
Predictions.
Okay.
Where do you think you can pick an element, the whole thing? What the fuck? Where do you think this is going?
I got 3.
Go ahead.
They all die. They're all
Oh,
White
wait,
Walkers.
you're saying
Oh,
all
3
That's it.
options. 3 different.
3 options.
Okay.
Done. Or Jon Snow is going to be faced with the decision of his life. And he's got to like either kill Daenerys to save everything,
To unify the throne.
to unify the throne, or what was my third one?
I'm still
Oh,
trying-
or the Cersei one.
I'm still trying to figure
survives.
Still trying to figure out your full second one.
You mean Cersei survives or Cersei?
Cersei ends up being the winner of the throne.
Yeah.
And
I've
she
heard
just
some
holds
people-
she just holds back.
We can't let Drew go first anymore.
Because
Why?
he's just covered up everything.
You covered the
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As far as there's some like little things in the show like that. Like I feel like they're leading towards. Like for instance, I think Arya and Gendry have a thing, and I think Gendry's the
She
last
doesn't even like
Baratheon.
guys.
Think about it this way:
Oh no, they're smashing.
Gendry's the
No.
last Baratheon bastard, right?
Arya doesn't care
How old
about
is she? Hold on.
sex.
But she definitely likes Gendry. She's liked him since the start,
Yep.
since before she was who she is now. So part of me was saying like a full circle moment is the beginning. We're marrying a Stark to a Baratheon. So what if Arya and Gendry go and they rule the Baratheon clan?
After they kill Jon Snow and Daenerys.
Jon Snow is the Targaryen. He's the king. The Targaryens technically have the claim to the throne. So he could technically be on the throne. Maybe I don't know, him or Daenerys, I guess. And then you got Sansa, who's the Lady of Winterfell. She holds down Winterfell. I don't know if she would get a
What's
guy. I don't
Bran?
think Sansa will ever trust a man again.
It's crazy ass Bran.
We might
Bran's
see.
three-eyed raven. He's going to go into that tree and fucking be there for the rest of his.
That's it?
For the rest of his time.
That's it.
Just like the old guy was in the tree. He was the tree.
Oh, that sucks, huh?
Like that's what Bran knows. That's why I think Bran's like cutting all his emotional ties because he knows that he's nobody anymore. He's everyone.
See, I don't think Bran's cutting emotional ties. I think he's just become
Insane.
He's evolved into what he is.
Yeah, but I think he knows that his brothers and sisters are going to struggle with the fact that he's not who he is anymore. So he's got to like do it in
I
a
can see
way
that.
where he can be like, "Listen, I'm leaving.
Right.
This is what I need to do."
Right. See, I feel like it's more on the. I mean, this is just for a comparative thing. It's almost like on the autism scale, where he has
Okay.
lost all social.
Yeah, because there's so much
Aptitude.
going on
Yeah.
up there. Yeah.
So I don't even think it crosses his mind about the human things. He's just kind of like
He's gone.
he's gone.
Yeah,
he's
he's
like
gone.
he's like this. All your problems are meager compared to what I'm working on
Yeah.
in this head right now.
I think, I mean, if they wanted to go the route of all the families surviving, then I think Jaime's got to do something where he kills Cersei, maybe, and because
That would be wild.
Jaime's known as the Kingslayer and everything, and
Right.
maybe it's like a little play on it, like he kills the Queen
Queenslayer.
Cersei. But I think he does. If he does it, he's not doing it to take the throne. He's doing it to unify the throne,
What if
and he's
He ended up being on the
actually
throne?
noble. You know, like
Yeah,
Jaime
but
wasn't
he's
seen
not.
as noble in the beginning. He's kind of turning it around where like he's kind of a likable character now because we see that he kind of he's
He's on the
butting heads
fence.
with Cersei a bit. He left King's Landing because he
We didn't
knows
forget
like,
about
he
Bran.
has to. Of course not, and neither did. But I think in the grand scheme of things, Bran knows that what happened had to happen for everything else to fall into place. So I don't know. I just think that maybe Jaime has come full circle as a character. We kind of actually maybe are at the end of this are going to like him. Whether he lives or dies, I think if he does die, I think you're almost going to feel bad when he does. Even though
Oh, for
if
sure.
he would have died in season 1, you would have been like, good, fuck
Yeah,
that
right.
guy. But
We need
here-
Bronn to
here's
have a big role.
So how about this?
I think Bronn
Bron's dope.
got to get his castle. That's
Here-
all that matters to me.
here's what's gonna happen. Aliens are gonna come.
That'd be dope.
This is actually a prequel
to Lost.
Yeah.
to Independence Day.
And Alex
This is
Jones
the first time that
finally
everyone
right.
had to come together, and they were like, White Walkers were like, "Yo, we live on Earth," and they were like, "Yo, we live on Earth," and then they all come together, and I'm gonna stop this one. Now. I wasn't gonna go anywhere. With
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I don't
But this is
know.
Game of Thrones.
Right, and the
You
game
can't
continues.
feel good. You cannot feel good when that episode ends. It's got to be like that Sopranos. I don't feel good.
Well, would you
That
be
doesn't
willing?
feel good.
Would you be willing to bet on any of those endings that we talked about?
Well, I from the get have been saying, I've been telling you from the get that I think that Cersei surviving is very realistic because it's a Game of Thrones type thing just to piss people off, and it's to tell you that being noble and having honor
Doesn't get you anywhere.
doesn't get you anything. And that's what I think could happen, or everyone's got to die, and that's including the White Walk, everybody, and we're left with the children again.
Oh, the
'Cause they
original
started
children, the OGs.
So I think that it might have to go because I think Bran with the three, he goes in, he's the three-eyed raven with the children, and Bran repopulates the world.
Maybe.
Those are my two crazy theories because out of the ones that we haven't mentioned, obviously, so far.
Jon Snow and Daenerys just end up in love, and everything's
No.
great.
I like their chemistry. I mean, I think that if
Yeah,
he
but they
if
can't.
the no, but I'm just saying if the
Right, it's
seasons
his aunt.
if the
It's his fucking
seasons
aunt.
if the seasons were built different, maybe Kit Harington's marrying Amelia Clark
Instead of the wildling
instead
girl.
of the one that he spent all the time with on the
Probably the
first
truth.
few seasons. You know,
Probably the truth.
Yeah.
I saw what was it? Did you watch it with me? I saw something about I think we did watch it. The casting calls with all of
the
them
auditions.
and the auditions and how young they looked.
Yeah.
Dude, Jon Snow doesn't look, or what's his name? Kit Harington looks nothing like he looks now.
Yeah.
Like he looked like and he's really short too.
Yeah.
Looked like
A
a
lot
little,
of those guys are short.
looked like a little nerd. I couldn't believe
Tyrion's short.
how he ends up now. Well,
What did I tell you about him? I said one day Tyrion's gonna get a Lifetime Achievement Award, and he's gonna walk up there. They're gonna be like, his first line's gonna be like, "Well, thank you very much for the award." He said, "No matter how long my career was, it was always gonna be short-lived."
oh Tyrion.
Yeah, I think I don't even want to really get too deep into predictions. I feel like we just it's
We'll get
just
a
more fun to let it ride.
We'll get a left turn next episode.
Yeah,
and
I
we'll be
just
like,
want to see it play out.
"Fuck us."
I'm definitely interested to see it play. Although they are, I was told they are releasing an episode on Easter Sunday. I wasn't sure
Okay.
if they would skip
Yeah?
Easter Sunday. They are apparently, according to who I talked to, they are doing an episode on Easter Sunday. So for all of you who will be watching live, we will not be. We will be on a plane
Don't
coming
say
back from
shit.
Denver. Don't open your fucking mouth.
Oh, I'll be on airplane mode or something. I'm not fucking with you guys.
Yeah, I might even keep it on airplane mode
Yeah.
till I get home.
Yeah.
We
know
land at 9:30 in Newark Airport. Don't open your fucking mouths until at least the next day, noon.
You know what?
I'm off the next day. I'm watching it if I don't watch it at night.
You know what would be the ultimate mindfuck?
Yeah.
If they released the information about 6 episodes, and it's really like 5 or 7. 7 would be cool because then you'd be like, I got another one, but 5. Imagine that. That was the way they fucked with everybody. This is the last episode right here.
You
They
can't
just
do
ended
that.
it. Like
They
it just said
ended
the
it.
Game of Thrones is over.
Well, no. It obviously led to the end. You're literally watching that. So it's like, damn, I can't believe there's a whole nother episode after this. How the hell are they going to do another episode after this? And it's just like, they're not. They got you.
Yeah.
The way they got us with the
Well,
hour and a half.
Same way we got y'all with an hour and 16,
Hour and
17
I thought it was gonna be
minutes.
short.
I thought it was gonna be 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a good time to cut it off then.
Guys, subscribe, like, all the above.
Yeah, subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff.
Spotify.
We're on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Stitcher, Pocket Casts, a
Everything.
Woozy, a Wazi.
Literally everything.
And then, of course, YouTube.
And
You can watch.
Yeah, so guys,
Want to see our pretty faces?
thank you very much for stopping by. There will be no song of the day today because it's not really an episode. So we hope you enjoyed our TV time. And, I mean, guys, if you want to say anything, please do so.
Like I said,
Go watch
just-
Big Mouth, man. Underrated show.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah,
real,
let's
real
end like
quick,
that.
real
Instead
quick.
of a song of the day, here's some
Here's some
TV
recommendations.
Recommendations, bro.
Andrew recommends Big Mouth.
Big Mouth.
Hilarious adult cartoon.
I'm not a cartoon fan, but this shit had me crying.
It's very funny.
Crying.
So funny. Yeah.
All about like little kids talking to their conscience while going through puberty. It's fucking hysterical, and it's by Nick Kroll.
funny.
It's by Nick Kroll.
It's
It's
amazing.
very good.
It's I literally I'm
Nick
laughing out
introduced it
loud.
to me. Yeah.
I'm laughing out loud watching that show.
Yeah.
You got anything to recommend?
I
I could do one while
you
you,
know
think
what?
if you got one.
Yeah, go ahead. You let me think of one.
Okay.
I think I might have one.
So it happens to go with the animated theme again. There's a show on Netflix called Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, pretty wild. You showed me.
So it's like 18 episodes or something like that, maybe less. They're all random amounts of time. Like the shortest one is a 5-minute episode. The
Yeah.
longest episode you get is 17 minutes. Every single episode is a new story. It has nothing to do with any of the other episodes. They're all animated in a different style of animation.
Right.
The first one's done in like a video game animation. The second one's done in a Pixar style. The third one's done blah blah blah.
No, it's pretty cool too.
But like out of the box thinking, out of the box storylines, some mind bending shit that really makes you think, and then some stuff that you're just like, what the fuck was wrong with these people? But I loved it. It's my kind of thing.
All right. I guess one would be actually on HBO. If you've watched Game of Thrones, you've probably seen advertisements for a show called Barry, which is they just started the second season.
what is it?
That's
It's called Barry.
Will Forte is a hitman.
It's
Not Will
Bill
Forte.
Hader.
Bill Hader.
Bill
is a good
Hader
man.
and
It's
Henry
funny.
Winkler's in it, aka the Fonz from back in the day.
Yeah.
Talk about longevity.
It's a good show. Very funny. The first season was only like maybe 6 to 8 episodes, I think. Second season's out now. Not sure how long it's going to be, but it's funny, witty. I think I think it's worth taking a watch.
Good one.
Definitely.
How long?
Yeah. They're. I think they're 40-minute episodes or whatever it is. Maybe even an hour. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. I have to.
So if you have 45
Watch
minutes,
it, yeah.
watch Barry. If you have a half hour, watch Big Mouth. If you have 17 minutes or less, Love, Death, or Robots. If you have an hour or longer,
Watch us.
Oro con leche.
There you go.
And with that being said, thank you very much for stopping by.
Arroz con leche.
Until next
We
week.
out.